I think we're good. All right, well, welcome to class today. It's great to see you all here. So let's start by bringing one hand to the upper chest and one hand to the belly. We're just gonna check in with our breathing pattern here and see what our breathing is doing. So no need to change anything, but just noticing when your belly rises and falls and when your upper chest rises and falls. Maybe your eyes are open, maybe your eyes are closed. Just being aware of the expansion and the contraction. And then bringing your awareness to your seat on your chair. And maybe just see if you can shift your weight so you're sitting a little bit more upright, a little more straight. If you're on a harder chair, you might even feel both of your sit bones anchoring into the chair. And from there, just really allowing your spine to get as tall as it can, reaching the top of your head up to the ceiling. And then maybe notice how that affected your breathing here. Maybe you're able to take a slightly bigger breath because you're sitting taller. Maybe you're breathing into your back body now as well. Or maybe you're feeling your breathing into your sides, sort of like under your ribs, under your armpits. Or maybe into the upper lungs, right underneath your collarbones. And then on your next exhale, bringing your awareness down to your feet, anchoring your feet into the floor. And then just giving your toes a little wiggle so they're feeling spacious and light. And now bring that whole sense of lightness in your toes all the way through your body. So maybe if your hands were pressing on your body a little bit more firmly or kind of holding, just see if you can lighten your arms so they're just really hardly touching your belly and upper chest. And see if you can find the lightness in your hands and the lightness in the rest of your body as you sit here and breathe. And taking one last deep breath in and out. And we'll slowly bring the hands down. Inhaling, arms stretching high overhead, looking up to the ceiling, fingers touch. And then palms spread out, slowly making their way down to the floor. Inhaling, arms come up, fingertips touch overhead. Exhale, arms come down. Really bringing some motion to your shoulders. Inhaling to stretch high. Out of your waist. And exhale, hands lower back down to your chair. Hands come to your thighs. Let's start with a little circling. So you're really starting with this motion with your belly. So bringing your belly, pushing it out, and then pulling it in as you roll the belly around. So engaging and moving from the center of your belly. And then your ribs are just sort of floating on top of your circle. And then moving and shifting in the other direction. And coming back to seated. And clasp the hands in front of the heart. And we're gonna turn the palms out, pressing forward, tucking the chin, so rounding the back forward. And then reaching arms up to the ceiling and releasing arms down. Hands come back to the heart, clasping, pressing palms out, tuck the chin, round the back, and I'll turn sideways just a little bit so you can see. Inhaling, arms overhead, and exhale, arms come back around, back to hands at heart. Clasp the hands, press them out, tuck the chin around the back, lift the arms high, and release around. Let's do that one more time. Hands at heart. Clasping, maybe switching directions, pressing palms out. Tuck the chin. Reach high. And release arms back down to your sides, and we'll bring the hands back up to the heart. So as we move into class, first let's set an intention. If there's a word or phrase that comes to mind. And breathing 3 times into your hands, into your hearts. And then releasing your hands, opening your palms, and then let's shrug the shoulders, lifting one up and one down. So getting a little sideways stretching. And back to center. And now we're gonna pretend we're gonna reach for that cookie jar, right, in the back shelf. So you're gonna reach up and really stretch forward. And maybe pull it with your fingers and come back to your lap, and then we'll go the other side. So one hand up, stretching as far as you can go and bringing your hand back. So reach high and then forward, maybe at a 45-degree angle, and come back. Reach high, forward, and back. And let's do one more time each side, and then we'll mix it up a little bit. Reach high, reach up and forward like the back shelf, and come back to center. Other side, high, forward, really reaching, and come back. All right, this time we're gonna bring it a little bit across the body like you're sweeping the top shelf. All right, so reach, let's see. We're gonna reach the one arm out to this side, and then you're gonna sweep it across the shelf and back and forth. So maybe like you're trying to wash the top shelf in your cupboards. Back and forth. And then when you're ready, coming back to your lap, and we'll do the other side, reaching palm out in a T, and then stretching, sweeping that arm across to the one side, and then coming back. So adding a little extra rotation here, a little different part of the stretch, still stretching the whole side body. All right, and one more time. And coming back, rolling your shoulders back in circles. And then we're going to hold on to the back of the chair. Let me turn my chair a little bit so you can see better. So you might sit on the edge of your chair like this. You're going to sit up tall and then grab the back of your chair. So your shoulder blades are squeezing together. My rib cage is tucking in, so it's not sticking out, but it's tucking down. And my shoulders are just gonna come back, and the chair will just help me keep my shoulders squeezing together. So I can continue to look straight if this is enough of a stretch for me, or you can look up to the ceiling just gently. So let's pause and breathe here. And then bring your neck back to neutral. We'll release the hands from the chair. Inhaling, arms come up. Extend your legs a little bit longer. And we're just gonna flow over the body. So grounding the back, tucking the chin, holding hands down to the tops of your feet. And then slowly drawing your hands up your legs. We'll inhale, arms overhead, fingers touch, and then release your hands, coming back to squeeze the chair again. So again, notice your ribs coming down, shoulders squeezing, grab the chair. So we're really opening up the front of the lungs here, the front of the ribs, and really stretching the muscles there that tend to get tight. So you can either look forward and stay here if that's comfortable. You can always bring your chin up and look up towards the ceiling, or even at the corner of the ceiling, or even all the way up. Feel free to move your neck and find a comfortable place. Breathe. And then release your arms, inhaling, arms overhead, maybe straighten your legs again. We'll sweep forward, finding a forward fold. So rounding the back, tucking the chin. Pausing down here. And slowly drawing your hands back up your legs. And let's press into the thighs, and we'll come up to do some standing. So let's start with our side to side. So I'll just go this way so you can see me. You can either go behind your chair or to the side, whatever works for you and your space. So starting, I'm gonna lift my left hand up high. Back up just a little bit. There we go. And we're gonna reach. I'm reaching my hand up to the ceiling first, and then reaching over to the right. And then I'm gonna come back and release my arm. And we'll do that 2 more times. So inhale, arm comes up, reach it high, reach it over to the right, back to center, reach high, and release down. One more time. Inhale up, reach high, reach over, reach center, high, and lower down. let's add a little bit of a balance to that. So I'm just gonna use my feet. So I'm standing on my right foot and I'm gonna lift my left leg out to the side. So you can keep holding your chair here, or you can bring your hands to your heart space. So my toes are flexed and my leg is at like a 30-degree angle out to the side. So if you need to hold your chair, that's fine. Just you can keep one hand there, maybe one hand on your waist. And just notice what happens when you focus on your standing foot and you draw all that energy up the leg, up through the knee, up through the hip, and trying to maintain your whole body balanced over that one point. All right, let's add this stretch. So if you want, you can hold onto your chair now if you're not already. Or reach the arm out to the side, overhead. Reach really high, and then over to the side. So if this is too much with you for your leg, you can always just go back to what we did the first time, right? Put your foot down. Or you can continue on with holding this stretch and really stretching out from your fingertips down to your flexed foot. All right, let's release the arm back to the hip and lower the foot. Let's take a moment and stand in the middle. So equally weighting on both of your feet now. And let's bend the knees and come back up. So releasing a little bit of tension in the glutes and the back of the legs. And you can continue to move up and down, or if you want to move into chair pose, bend your knees, raise your arms. Drop your shoulders, heart is forward, tuck your tailbone, and lower down another bit. And press into your legs, reach high for a little back bend, and sweep your arms back to your waist. Let's bend the knees and come up and down. And you can continue this or bend your knees and come into chair, raising your arms, heart forward, drop the shoulders, soften the jaw. Breathe and hold. Find that softness and the lightness in your body that we found before. Press into your feet, raise high, and release the arms back down to your sides, hands to your hips. So we'll take 3 breaths in and out. And then let's shift over and do that sequence on the other side. So I'll move my chair to my left now. So we started raising one arm overhead, reaching high to the sky, and then reaching over. Back to center, reach high, and lower the arm. 2 more times. Inhale, arm up, reach the arm high, reach out of your waist here, stretching, finding space, over. Back to center, and release. Last time, inhale, arm up, reach high, reach over, And back to center, reach high. And release your arm back down. And shake it out a little bit. And let's come into our balance. So standing on one leg on this side. Again, if you want one finger on the wall, sometimes all you need is one finger. But feel free to hold the whole top of the chair if you need to. So again, leg is at about 30 degrees. And I'm just noticing where my weight is, if I can keep myself still upright. And focusing on this alignment through that standing leg. If you want, you can bring your hands to your heart space or hands to your waist. All right, and then we'll add the stretch. So again, you can either release your foot to the floor if you have to, or reach your arm overhead and stretch out. So this reminds me of being like the shape of the letter X, where I'm flexing my toes and my stretching from my foot, my heel, all the way out my fingertips. And then you can release and come back. Sure, we did that a few times. So again, reaching over, stretching, breathing. And coming back down, giving your leg a rest, and we'll do that one more time. Leg comes out, arm reaches up and over, pause and breathe. Lower the hand and lower the foot down to the floor. Hands to your waist, taking a moment to ground and anchor both of your feet solid into the earth. Knowing that there's a super strong magnetic pull from the center of the planet that is connected to us. And then let's find a little bit of movement in those knees and hips. So lowering and raising yourself up. All right, you can continue to do this, or if you want to add your chair, pause and hold. Bending your knees, tucking your tailbone, reaching your arms overhead. Lower your shoulders, pause and breathe. Bend your knees a little bit more, rise and come up. Take a little back bend, look back, and release your arms slowly back down to your sides. And then just weaving your arms forward and back, finding a little bit of lightness back in your arms. And then swinging them forward and back. Just noticing how that motion affects the rest of your torso. And then maybe your arms kind of just rise up to the ceiling, and then slowly let them drop and fall. Maybe adding your knees. You're welcome to go slow, you're welcome to go fast. Just a gentle breeze. Letting gravity do its work. So when we let gravity sort of help move us, just adding a little bit of push, we can actually have fun with the motion rather than forcing it. So let's try to force it just to see what that would be. So I guess I'm gonna just keep my arms nice and straight and almost like force them to come down, right? And slowly bend my knees. And then I have to physically lift my arms back up. So when I do that, there's a lot more tension in my arms. There's a lot more tension in my legs. My shoulders are all, and this is a different sense of being, right? We can also be very mindful in the tension that we're holding and the action that we're pushing. But it's very different from just letting your arms flop down and come back up. So really noticing the pulse and the wave when we do this. All right, maybe 1 or 2 times to feel that lightness again. And release your arms back down to your sides. All right, we need a little bit of twisting in here. So let's bring our feet a little bit wider. Bend your elbows up, make fists with your hands. So I guess you can tuck your thumbs in or just leave them out. And we're just gonna twist from side to side. Just a gentle movement back and forth, kind of in between the tension and the gentleness that we were just doing. But the more you stretch and the more you move, doing this one movement, even with repetition, you'll start to notice that maybe you can look a little bit further behind you than you could when you first started. And whenever you're ready, coming back to center, keeping arms out to your sides, and closing your eyes and breathing. And then let's slowly, oh dear. We're just going to pause so that I can plug myself in and have enough battery for the rest of class. I forgot to grab my plug. So this would be a great time to have a water break or continue to hold and breathe. Alrighty. There we go. So we're gonna raise our arms up high. And exhale, sweep your arms back down to your sides. Inhale, stretch the arms high. And exhale, down. Last time, inhale up. Exhale, down. Let's bring our fingertips to our cheekbones and tapping. Move through our little tapping routine. And bringing your fingertips down to your upper chest. Tapping and moving all of your energy forward. Maybe even crossing your arms if you want to tap crossed over. And then coming to the center, tapping in the center. Tapping on the ribs. Tapping on the rib cage, under the armpits. And then holding the ribs here and taking 3 deep breaths, breathing into the sides. Feeling the expansion, feeling the contraction. So we do this so we can start to breathe and train ourselves to breathe in a 360 degrees. All right, and then smooth down your legs. Let's bring the right arm to the left shoulder. Take a deep breath in. And exhale out, and we'll cross over. Inhale, hold the shoulder. Exhale, cross the body, opposite hip. A few more times. Inhale. And exhale to cross. Inhale to hold. And exhale to cross. You can speed it up a little bit more if you want. You're smoothing across the body in the crossover pattern, getting both hemispheres of the body to connect. All right, and let's do the waist a little bit. So just smoothing down your belly, smoothing down your sides, coming to the back, smoothing the back. And back to the sides, and then bringing the arms back and forth, left to right, right to left. All right, moving into our unscrambling exercise or schoolyard hookup. Take one leg and cross it over the other. If that's too much, you can always just put your feet like they're standing on a railroad track, but it's best if you can cross them over. And then we'll bring one arm over the other, turn the palms, match the palms, and tuck under. So standing tall. And breathing, letting all the energies connect and organize. Whenever you're ready, we can switch sides. So maybe switch your arms first, or maybe switch and cross your legs, coming back, standing tall, breathing here. And then when that feels complete, you can release your arms and legs, bringing all 10 fingertips to touch. Thumbs come up and touch between your eyebrows. And here you can ground into your feet and allowing the energy to rise up from the earth, coming up through your body and out your third eye. Bringing the fingertips together at the forehead, stretching across and moving into the crown pull. So you can really dig into your scalp here if that feels good, or you can do it lightly in the field, which is coming all the way down, massaging the head, coming down the neck, maybe doing it one more time, coming across the forehead and behind the ears. And then hanging on your shoulders with your hands whenever you're ready. Pausing and breathing a couple times here. Crossing the hands, bringing them down to the heart. Breathing 3 more times. And down, hands come down the belly and off the waist. Let's grab our chairs and we'll come back to our seated position. So taking whatever comfortable seat you want. Let's bring our hands to frame the chin. So noticing if you can relax your chin, relax your jaw. And then when you're ready, you can release your hands and just bring your fingertips and tap the top of your head, kind of like little raindrops tapping into your head. So notice the different sensations that this vibrates down into your skull. Maybe you tap your hands. Maybe you tap your fingertips. Maybe you alternate, maybe you tap at the same time. Just notice what feels good to you right now. Maybe tapping the forehead or behind the ears or the neck. And then let's bring our fingertips to the temples. Pausing and breathing in and out. And then bring your hands back to your heart space, hands, palms touching. And gently swinging your hands from side to side. All right, let's move into our face chakra exercise. So this is all about opening the face so that we can be more open and available. It's also basically gives us more choice. So if we want to be more poker faced, or if we want to share everything out in the open, you have a choice to do either one or even be in the middle. So the exercise starts with your fingertips touching, and we're gonna bring the thumbs to the indentation of your nose and your mouth, and then the other first fingers at your third eye between your eyebrows. So kind of where we had the thumbs before. So we're gonna hold the hands here and breathe a couple of times. 3 is just an easy number to remember. And then we're going to keep the fingers where they are, but just move your thumbs. So your thumbs will come down to this indentation in your chin, between your mouth and the bottom of your chin. So again, fingertips touching, breathing in and out a couple of times. And you're going to slowly bring all of your fingertips touching, but not your palms. So your palms, so we're just going to slowly lower them, and we're going to slowly raise the hands. So drawing them in front of the face and coming overhead, reaching up to the ceiling, and then whenever you're ready, you can touch your wrists together. Oh, I had enough room, not quite. So your wrists are touching and your hands open up into this chalice. So you can smile here as you open, allowing the energies to flow into your hands, down your arms, into your heart. Taking a few breaths here. Practicing being open to receiving. And then as you're ready, you can slowly bring your palms back together, ever so slowly coming down this center line in your body, down to your heart. We'll cross the hands over the heart. And maybe closing your eyes or finding a soft gaze. And coming back to your breathing, centering and grounding. And then slowly moving the hands down the belly and off the hips down to the thighs. Let's come back to our belly circles. So rotating the torso, leading with the belly. And switching directions whenever you're ready. And come back to center. Do a couple of sun salutations, and then we'll move into our meditation. Arms, inhale, come up. Exhale, we'll swan dive our arms forward and down. So tucking your chin, rounding your back, gaze. Look to your belly button or maybe to your knees. My hands are on my feet. Slide your hands up the legs, up to the knees, and we'll just stretch high again. Arms come up. Arms come forward, hands come down to the calves or the feet, rounding the back, forward fold. And hands slowly come up the legs, out to the hips, reaching in, inhaling high. Exhale, palms forward, coming back down to your calves or your feet, hanging out down at the bottom. Forward fold, letting your head hang, releasing your tension out of your neck, out of your jaw. And then slowly tracing your arms, back up your legs. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, hands touch this time and come back down to your heart space. Gently sliding hands side to side. And then bringing your hands down to your lap, rolling your shoulders in circles, moving backwards. And then finding your hands resting on your lap. If there's any last stretches you want to do before we move into our quiet meditation time, you're welcome to. Otherwise, if you want, you can dim your lights. You can light a candle. Settling into your seat, finding a comfortable place for your hips, your feet, and your body. And taking a nice deep inhale. And taking a nice slow exhale. Taking a nice slow inhale. And a nice slow exhale. Taking a nice slow inhale. And a nice slow exhale. And moving into your own breathing pattern. Finding the lightness in the breath and the lightness in the body. And hanging out in this space of curiosity, this space of potential, and the space of creativity. So bringing your awareness back to yourself, maybe with your eyes still closed. Identifying if there is going to be a center point in your body, a center core or a center spot, where that would be. And taking your awareness to that spot. And then bringing that spot to lightness, so just feeling like it's like a little ball of glowing white light, and you're going to slowly lower the ball. So if the ball is in my heart area, I'm just going to slowly visualize it moving down from my heart down to the floor, and continuing to move straight down through the foundation into the earth, and just slowly traveling all the way to the center of the planet, to the core of the planet. So noticing there might be one small white light at the center of the earth, and there's another small white light at the center of your body. And noticing how they're connected. And notice how they can support each other. And then noticing your hands back in your lap, maybe moving your hands forward and back. Maybe lifting your shoulders and coming back into your body here, giving yourself a little bit of a stretch, maybe a little bit of a twist or a reach. And then let's close class, bringing our hands together at our heart space. Thank you all for joining me today. Let's come back to our intention from the beginning of class and notice how it sits with you now. And breathing 3 times into your hands, into your hearts. It is wonderful spending this time with you in class. I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I look forward to seeing you again. Namaste.